Students, we'll start the new chapter, chapter 10, gravitation. Okay. Now, we all know that a forces need to change the speed or a direction of the motion. We have already seen in the previous class. Okay. Now, when an object, when it's dropped from an height, falls towards the earth, all the planets go around the sun. Moon goes around the earth. Okay. So there must be some force acting on these objects, the planets, the moon. Okay. Now, Isaac Newton, he called this force as a gravitational force, which was responsible for all these actions. Okay. Now let us see what is gravitation. For that, you have to just understand that each point of the orbit, the moon falls towards the earth instead of going off in a single straight line. So it must be attracted by the earth. Okay. So that we do not see really moon falling towards the earth, but we see it revolving around the earth. Okay. Now let us understand that with an activity, you see here, there's a boy who is holding a thread with a stone tied and is rotating this thread with his hand. Okay. Now this, before the thread is released, thus it moves along the circular path with a certain speed and changes the direction at every point. At every point, the direction of the stone changes. Okay. And with the direction change, there will be change in velocity or acceleration. Now, the force that causes this acceleration keeps the body in motion along the circular path. Okay. Now that force is towards the center. This force is known as centripetal force. Now centripetal force is a force which is acting from the center towards the sides of the circle. So there's some force which is acting from here to here, that is making this object go round and round. This is the force. Okay, that is making the object in a circular path. So imagine this is moon and this is earth. Okay, now just turn the page. If you release the stone will fly off around a straight line. This straight line will be the tangent to the circular path. What is a tangent? Now if this is a circle, now the point or the straight line, which this is a straight line, it meets the circle at one point. This point is known as tangent of the circle. So if you release the stone will go to a straight line from any of the tangent. The tangent can be here, 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 here. Okay. Now the motion of the moon around the earth is due to the centripetal force. Again I am repeating, it's because of the centripetal force. Okay. Now if there was no such force, the moon will go in a straight line. Now the second law of motion for a force, okay, gives that the acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass of the object. The mass of the apple is very negligible as compared to that of earth. That's why we do not see earth moving towards the apple, but we see apple moving towards the earth because of the mass. Mass of the earth is much more than the apple. Okay. Now on based of this, we all conclude that there exists a force between the sun and the planets. Okay. Not only that, but all the objects of the universe attract each other. Now this force of attraction between the objects is called gravitational force. Okay, all of them have got the force, but it depends on the mass. Okay, so based on this, there's a universal law of gravitation that every object in this universe attracts every other object with a force which is proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. This is the universal law of gravitation. According to this, again I'll repeat, that this force is proportional to the product of their masses. So it is directly proportional to the masses. Suppose this is the mass of one object, mass of other object. So it is directly proportional to the product, means m multiplied by m. It is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So it is 1 upon distance between them square. It's inversely proportional. So if I join these two, I get it like this. Okay. So if I have got two objects, this is the distance. So according to that, f is directly proportional to m multiplied by m and is inversely proportional to 1 upon d square. Combining them, we get this equation. And for removing this proportionality sign and equating it, we use a constant. This constant is known as gravitational constant. Okay. Now this gravitational constant, we can calculate the value by using this formula, taking all these things on one side and g on one side. Okay, just turn the page. So we get G is equal to F d square upon m into m. Now F is equal to the unit of F is Newton, distance is meter square, mass in kg, so kg square, 1 kg into kg. Okay, so the unit of G is Newton meter square kg minus 2. Okay, this is the unit of gravitational constant. Now the value of this G was found out by Henry Cavendish. Okay, and the value is 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11, and the unit is Newton meter square kg minus 2. Okay, now according to the law, what it says is all of them have got the force of attraction, but it is the inversely proportional to the square of distance. Means what? If the distance is more, then the force will be less. If the distance is less, then the force will be more. Similarly, it is directly proportional to the mass, the product of mass. Okay, thank you.